there, I'm Jules. Nice to see you. The word of the day today is pain. Ow. If you'd like to know why pain is the word of the day, watch my next video and then read the description to find out. Baby.
The 7 districts of sin. The tail makes the fox.
I was not expecting that. Okay. Well, hey babes. We're playing the 7 districts of sin, the tail makes the fox again. I don't know, it kind of grabbed me yesterday and I thought I would keep doing it. I like it. It's interesting. You know what? So we're just gonna see where it goes. The dialogue is a little weird. We'll deal. Like most things in Kumanoito Palace, the office is rarely used for its intended purposes. The only things that look like they may be used for business are the few massive bookshelves lining the walls, but even they are occupied with frivolous trinkets and dolls. How Anzu acquired these trinkets is shrouded in as much mystery as the woman herself is. However, it's important to note that the biggest trinket the governess owns is her personal assistant, Kali. Therefore, it shouldn't be shocking that the strangest thing about the room are the photos, some more decent than others, that capture Kali's delicate beauty. The subject herself sees nothing wrong with said pictures. In fact, they make her swell with pride when she notices Jules' attention gravitate to some of the less decent ones. What the governess and her assistant actually do in this room is hard to tell with just a cursory investigation. Like everything else in Kumanoito Palace, Kali and the other trinkets can be used in more ways than one.
That fox gives me such a headache.
Isn't that little girl a child? Anzu drapes herself over the love seat by the window. She sighs and swoons, showing her relief to finally be out of that fox's undesirable company.
I as well.
Kali stands by the arm of the chair, close enough that if the governess wishes, she can run her fingers through the waterfall of Kali's silvery locks again. Anzu doesn't wish to, but just in case, if there's the smallest chance that it will happen, Kali wants to be ready.
Am I cursed? Or is the universe simply testing my patience?
I believe you withstood the torture well, my lady.
All that whining.
Anzu unironically whines loudly, rolling her eyes far back into her skull.
Hell only knows how long it'll be until that fox disappears for good.
Jules stands by the door and nods with agreeance. Wouldn't it be in agreement? I kind of agree with them. I can't imagine having to put up with Gaki all the time, no matter how cute his face is. All that leering is so creepy, no matter how cute his face is. And all the things he says, no matter how cute his face is, it's just unforgivable. But Gaki does have a cute face, I guess. A really cute face, alright. Still, he's a nuisance that should have been swallowed, not born. Oh!
It ruined the mood of the whole day.
Jeez.
I wouldn't go quite that far. She is just an insignificant fox, after all.
Wait, she?
At least it's over now. We can put it all behind us and enjoy ourselves again.
If only that were true.
Anzu and Kali look over their shoulders at Jules, staring at her as if they expect her to disappear in a cloud of smoke.
It's still here, though.
Jules' ear twitched with annoyance. It's her own fault for not taking the governess at face value. The woman's personality should have been obvious by now, though figuring out the obvious isn't exactly the girl's strong suit. I can hear you two. You do know that, right?
I think it hurt us.
That's not possible. I thought for certain all that whining she did must have impaired her hearing.
My hearing far surpasses every other demon's. How dare they insult me? The two women continue to stage whisper in front of her.
She's staring at us.
May I throw her out? Once she's gone, all can be perfect again.
Stop stalling and give me a key card already so I can begin my work.
I think she's mad at me. How cute.
Anzu's mouth quips up in a smile.
Remember who you are, fox. And then, remember who I am.
Jules' tail stretched out behind her in pent-up rage, but Anzu is far more delighted than insulted by the girl's demands. At least, for now, she is.
Kali, get the fox her key card. All access with the standard limitations, of course. And quickly. The longer she's here, the more common everything becomes.
Of course.
Kali passes under the octopus chandelier and sits at the large pearly surface desk. An obedient silence surrounds her as she works. Limitations to what? I'll need complete access to the palace. Anzu plays with a lock of her own raven hair, twisting it between her fingers.
Are you almost done, Kali? I think the fox is trying to speak to me.
Almost done, my governess.
What are those limitations you mentioned? Anzu sighs heavily, finally turning her head to stare directly at Jules. What limit?
The answer to that question is one of the limitations.
Limitations? Yeah, right. What's so special about this palace that the succubus has put up restrictions? There's definitely something incriminating here, and I have a feeling that it's hidden exactly where I'm not allowed to go. Damn, I'm good. I should have gone into espionage sooner.
Any other questions?
Will you answer them?
Probably not.
Then no. Kali presents the keycard to Anzu on a small silver tray. A little excessive if you ask Jules, but what in this place isn't in excess?
The keycard, my governess.
Kali faces Jules for the first time since coming to the office, but it's Anzu who speaks up.
This keycard will permit you access to the necessary documents for your task. If it's used in any of the restricted areas, I'll be notified and the keycard will immediately be confiscated.
And those restricted areas are...
Places only perverts and troublemakers would be interested in.
Could you be more specific?
I thought that was a very specific description.
Specific is not a word that the governess enjoys, almost as much as he doesn't enjoy words like common, objective, and her own last name, in fact.
Well, for example, any bedroom that is not yours, and this office.
Anywhere else?
Nowhere that you should naturally find yourself, unless a grave ending is what you seek.
Deflect. I'm good at that. Then these limitations will benefit both of us.
So, you finally understand how things are?
No, but we both have objectives we need to fulfill.
What are your objectives, exactly?
To not end up in a grave situation. The governess lowers her gaze, laughing into her sleeve, a splash of color coming to her pale face. It clearly irritates Kali to see that expression being shown to anyone but herself.
Isn't that funny?
But I want to make this crystal clear. I'm only here to do my job, so in the future I'd appreciate a little more cooperation.
Are you implying that I haven't been cooperating? Kali, have I done something wrong?
No, never, my governess.
You failed to make yourself clear, Fox. Now you're simply wasting my time.
This whole place is a waste of my time.
You have your keycard, so you can start your work. And the sooner you start, the sooner you'll leave.
Fine. If you show me where you keep your records, then...
I don't know where they are.
Then how am I...
Celios does, though. Come along.
Finally, we're getting somewhere. When they arrive at the entrance hall, Jules is shocked to see that Gaki is still here and, having lived up to his threat, is picking the chunks of Celios' flesh from his teeth. All evidence that a struggle has taken place is being cleaned up by the pale bite victim. The closer the girl gets, the more bite marks she sees on the both of them. It's evident that the vampire has a lot more bite in him than she first thought.
I see that you failed to control the pest.
I tried, Governess, but there's only so much harm I can do without fearing that Master Gaki will press charges.
Like you expected any less, On. I'm both a fighter and a lover. You know that.
Anzu peers at the fox boy. A disgusted look turns her pretty mouth into something equally beautiful but more menacing than before.
How about congratulations for your champion?
The raven-haired woman turns back to Celios without comment.
Celios, perhaps this thing would be more in your weight class?
He looks up to Jules and then back to the governess, nodding with understanding and regret for his previous failure.
See to it that she's put straight to work and kept busy. I want her gone as soon as possible.
Yes, Governess.
And, Fox, remember what we talked about.
I'm not scared of you, but you should certainly be afraid of me. Jules smirks, bowing her head to the governess before meeting Celios at the bottom of the stairs. The vampire and the self-professed Gumiho cross the entrance hall to a concealed door that leads to a maintenance hallway. The hall is nothing more than bare wooden walls, with none of the splendor of the rest of the building. Much to Jules' relief, it's only her and Celios in the hall. Gaki, quite foolishly, decides to follow Anzu and Kali back to the office. The fox boy won't see the inside of the office today, though.
Did you hear something, Carly?
So, I told her that story. You know, the one about my father destroying the fourth pillar. Nothing too mind-blowing. Solid pickup tale.
There seems to be an annoying buzzing noise, my governess.
Wait, have I told you guys that story before? You know, the one where my family is basically dubbed the heroes of the war? I didn't already tell you that, did I?
It feels like it's burrowing its way into my skull.
No, wait, I did. Never mind then. So, I told her about the pillar, because, you know, nothing like some phallic imagery and some fake-ass daddy issues to get her hot.
Dispose of it.
When I'm done telling her the whole thing, guess what the little slut does?
Now!
Gladly, my governess.
Oh, God. When Jules enters the archives, she sighs with relief, grateful that there's one place in this insane palace that looks how it's supposed to. Best of all, it's the archives, a place where the auditor can feel at home. She's quite used to spending her days in a pigeon-sized cubicle, so the floor-to-ceiling shelves that threaten to collapse under the weight of all their contents are right up her alley.
I apologize for the lack of light, and the smell. No one but myself usually works in here.
As the girl walks behind the vampire, she realizes that the room's dusty. The room's dusty old paper smell is the very same scent that stuck to Celios. There's also something else in the air, though. Something that's a little bitter to her nose. The more Jules fixates on the smell, the more prominent it becomes, until suddenly the smell is something her host should apologize for. It smells like vodka and lemons.
What can I get for you? The sooner we start?
The sooner I can leave. Anzu is very clear on that.
I was going to say the sooner I can find it for you, but that works too.
Sorry. The Kumiho feels bad, since the vampire isn't Anzu, and he hasn't said a thing to get on her bad side. It's just very hard to stop the governess from getting under one's skin, even when she's not actually present.
No need, but I'd advise you to be wary of jumping to conclusions here, even if it's in your nature not to listen to my advice.
My nature? What, he thinks all foxes are like Gaki? Is that it?
I shouldn't waste my breath. No one ever takes my advice. Maybe I'm just distrustful to everyone by nature.
The condescending little shit. I felt sorry for you, but now I hope Gaki really did eat your... Yep. Oh. Celios stops suddenly, and Jules walks right into him. The vampire turns to look at her with a displeased frown as the shelves around them wobble threateningly.
Perhaps you should take a seat. The aisles will be too narrow for the both of us. Plus, she must be tired.
I'm fine. I'm not just some nuisance you can cast aside.
I politely insist that you take a seat, miss. I've never had to explain the filing system. I'll probably make it sound more complicated than it actually is.
And I politely decline, so lead the way.
If you insist. I really hope you won't.
I do. 1 for Jules, 0 for the bloodsucker. As Celios predicted, the halls are too narrow for the both of them. The more Jules tries to help find the records, the more tangled the two of them become.
The files for the upper tier collectors are just by your ankle. If you let me pass, I can...
You mean here? The girl bends down and reaches for the folders, but her butt hits the shelves and everything around them rocks.
No, that's the lower tier folder.
Celios holds his hand out and tries to steady the rocking shelves. What? But I thought... In a panic, Jules pulls her hand away from the folders, and her sleeve catches on the tooth of a dog skull artifact.
I explained that already. The colors correspond with the... please, be careful with that skull.
The auditor pulls her sleeve away from the skull, the material ripping as she fights with it, all the while knocking into the shelves, and to Celios' dismay, causing more trouble than he first anticipated.
Please, stop moving.
Jules finally freezes and waits anxiously for the shelves to stop rocking. Slowly, everything stops moving, and she's free to move again. She looks over to see Celios' blanched expression, which for once isn't trying to sugarcoat his complete horror. Maybe you should explain this filing system one more time, just for clarity. Celios lets his hand drop away from the shelves. As much as he wants to refuse to explain the whole thing again, he also doesn't want the fox to ruin his system because of her lack of knowledge. Taking a deep breath, he begins the explanation all over again.
Our files are organized primarily by their appeal grade. The grades are how you find the aisles. Then they are categorized by their total contributions to the gross increase of soul influx, also referred to as spirits.
And spirits determine the purity level, right?
They're only a small aspect of the purity level. Governess Anzu manually grades their purity on a biannual basis. We're still in the process of reviewing the purity level of 43% of the ward. So, as you can see, we needed to subcategorize depending on the difference between this purity level evaluation and the last biannual purity level evaluation. Did you get all that?
What sort of house of horrors is this filing system? Of course, couldn't be simpler.
It's not a common filing system, I know.
Or one that makes a lick of sense, but that seems to be a common theme in the 6th District. What in this place makes any sense?
You've already seen how Anzu feels about common things.
So she does everything she can to come up with the most impossible solutions to the simplest problems? Sounds completely logical. Jules' strange smile doesn't hide her confusion very well. With the deepest of sighs, Celios renews his earlier offer and prays to Lucifer that she'll see reason this time. I'm off today.
How about you tell me what you need and I'll get the files for you? It'll save time.
The girl's stubborn pride completely evaporates into an expression of joyful defeat. There's only so much she can do after all. Yes, that's a great idea.
Great. If you'd listened to me when I first suggested it, we would have saved even more time, though.
Thank you, and I'm sorry.
Don't worry. The filing system... you'll get used to it.
It takes the vampire no time at all to locate the files and bring them to the small desk that the auditor is occupying.
Whew. That was a workout.
His mood has changed, a lot. Celios smiles from ear to ear, looking proudly at the pile of files like they're some great lost treasures.
Let me know if you need anything else.
Sure, and thanks.
I'd be happy to explain the filing system again if you...
No. The auditor's head is still spinning from the vampire's first 4 attempts to explain it all to her.
My filing system really isn't that bad, is it?
I mean, I'm pretty sure I got it already.
Sure.
Jules picks up the first folder and starts to shuffle through it. She quickly gets to work, marking down the parts she thinks will be useful and making notes on what she could probably skip. She does this for 5 minutes before realizing that Celios hasn't moved from behind her. Is something wrong?
I have been asked to help you.
And you have helped me. I'm fine now, so... Jules slams the folder shut and turns his face Celios dead on. She knows his game, and by the sudden blush on his face, he knows she knows. Were you asked to keep an eye on me?
No, I apologize. This must look bad. I should have said something earlier. I was just thinking of how to best phrase it, and I guess I've been thinking for a long time, and... oh, now I've done something strange.
What?
I want to know what perfume you're wearing.
What?
Your smell. It's strong. And I thought it must be because you're wearing some strange perfume.
Are you saying I stink? Rich, coming from someone who smells like an embalmed corpse.
No, you don't stink. You just smell more human than other demons I've met. I know you can get a perfume from some of the markets, but I've never smelled a perfume so accurate before. You smell just like a human.
No wonder they stuck him down here, in the records room. He's all over the place as the filing system. Black markets, perfumes, and humans? What's wrong with him?
I think you smell nice. Like a human. To me.
Do I smell like food to you? Oh, I get it. This is some vampire pickup line. My Lucifer, why are all the men in this place coming on to me? So, I smell delicious to you. Is that it? Like a cheeseburger or something?
What? No, I mean...
Jules laughs. She thought he'd have a bit more game than this. Coming up with a cheesy line like you smell human takes real balls after all. Or maybe you're more of a nacho kind of guy? The fox jokingly jabs Celios on the side with her elbow. She completely misses the look of discomfort showing in the man's pursed lips as every movement she makes fills the air with her delicious scent. So what do I smell like then? Come on, I want to know. The vampire looks away for a moment, knowing that his thoughts shouldn't be said out loud. But he also knows that she seems to really want to know.
A little like a filet mignon with a blackberry and red wine reduction.
He holds his hand over his mouth, trying to hide the clear look of hunger that suddenly swamps his senses. How come you know so much about food?
I used to live with a human family, and the mother was an excellent cook. She made the best veal pepperonata. I can still taste it to this day.
A dribble of saliva drops from behind Celios' hand and onto Jules' shoulder. Jules looks up to see a gulp roll through the vampire's throat. Ew. Ah, Lucifer, it wasn't a pickup line. The fox suddenly shifts nervously in her seat, not knowing how she's going to talk her way out of this one. A family, huh? So you used to live up there?
For over 40, maybe 60 years. I didn't keep count. I grew up around humans. Later in life, I found myself in the company of a widower and her 6 children. They were all terrible kids, so I helped her scare some discipline into them.
Do I dare ask how?
They grew up into fine men and women, but they all died in the war, just like their father. Their mother never forgave me.
Celios becomes silent. He places a hand on Jules' shoulder, gripping it tightly, tighter than he even realizes. Looking down at the fox girl's frightened eyes, the vampire sees such a human amount of fear in them. He leans forward, getting a concentrated whiff of the nostalgic scent. Jules shoots up from her chair, tails bristling.
Sorry, I guess some things are unforgivable.
She doesn't like showing weakness, and she's annoyed by how much Celios' careless words are affecting her. It can't be helped, though. History can never be erased, and some things cannot simply be apologized for and gotten over. True. I need some more files. From the list. The pale man bows his head and leaves the auditor to her work. When he drops off the files, he doesn't say a word to her. Although that doesn't mean stray thoughts don't pop up in his head every time he walks by her, or is caught upwind of her scent.
Oh, it's so sweet.
The more time he passes by, the longer he has to unpack all the complex notes of her smell.
Full-bodied, with an intense aroma of forest fruits. Almondy notes, and the added depth of caramelized aftertone.
As much as he itches to stay close to Jules and intoxicate himself on her scent, he has gone too far and he knows it. The vampire tries to make himself scarce until needed. Night quickly becomes, and Jules has, much to Celios' surprise, worked through a good portion of the files. She may be a braggart, but at least some of her inflated ego isn't all talk. Even though the whole audit thing is a ruse, she has to make it look believable, right? So she works well into the night until she can barely keep her eyes open.
You should probably head off to bed.
They're the first words the man has dared to speak for nearly 4 hours. A sleepy-eyed Jules smiles up at him, but years of being near Anzu has made smiles untrustworthy to him.
Sorry.
What are you apologizing for?
You're...
Celios searches her face for the look of disgust or horror he still expects, but all discomfort has either been forgotten or worked out of her system.
I'm sorry you've had to work so hard.
It's no problem. I am an expert after all, so this is... Oh, okay, I didn't know what kind of noise that was. Jules yawns loudly. The vampire chuckles, quickly realizing that all is fine between them once more.
It can wait until morning, can't it?
I don't see you turning in your books yet. I'll work as late as you do. I don't want anyone thinking I'm slacking off.
I'm not a fair measure of that. I work antisocial hours at twice the normal price.
What does that mean? Even Anzu's employees have to be overpriced.
I'm pretty lucky to have found this job. It suits me well and pays even better. I just bought a quaint holiday home in the country. Just 600 more years of payments and she'll all be mine.
Yeah, and I bet you never get to see this lovely home of yours because you're stuck here working.
You're not wrong. I actually don't remember the last time I was there. But it's still a nice thought to own something.
He's a lot chattier now. Perhaps he's a night person. Or maybe it's the guilt. This could work in my favor. Ask about him. You must have some free time to yourself. You have to sleep, don't you? Celios gives her the kind of condescending smirk that he's perfected from being around Anzu all this time. It doesn't make Jules' blood boil, though. Not in the angry way, at least. You don't sleep? The man laughs bashfully, obviously trying to avoid answering the question. Like, never ever?
Not in the last 40 years, no.
And you're fine? Jules' tail are wagging happily behind her, and her eyes are sparkling so curiously at Celios. The fox may not notice it, but the vampire has, and he finds it unexpectedly cute. It's much more endearing than when Gaki does it, for when that kitsune's tails are bobbing about, it only spells trouble for the bloodsucker.
Don't I look fine?
Jules blushes suddenly, realizing that in her excitement, she's gotten too close to the vampire. She must look like an idiot. The Gumiho girl lashes out and grabs her two tails, trying to stop them from wagging so much.
Sorry, that was a bit mean of me. Yes, I feel fine.
Jules strokes down her tail so she has something to do other than look at Celios in the face.
You can ask me more questions. I promise I'll be kinder.
The Gumiho scrunches up her mouth, not liking the way the man's looking so pityingly at her. Regardless, she still has a few more things to ask him. So, do you spend all your nights in the archives?
Even I have to get out from time to time. Stretch my wings, see the sights. There's this restaurant in town that just got 5 stars in the Gluto review. I've been dying to visit it.
So you work all day and...
Work all night, most nights. My flexible schedule is probably why Anzu hired me in the first place, and is definitely why she hasn't fired me, as I'm told. When she wants something done, it gets done.
That's extortion. She'll work you to death.
With all due respect, this is a situation you have only glimpsed at. Perhaps you shouldn't share your opinion of how things are around here until you've been here for more than a day.
No matter how he started the sentence, the intent is clear. Stelios' usually cool demure is suddenly as cold as a glacier. The frown he's giving Jules is the same disapproving scowl he gave Gaki earlier. Don't you dare treat me like that fool. But the damage is already done. Even though the vampire knows that not all kitsune are alike, the similarities are there. He just hopes that the fox girl's thoughtlessness is the only similarity between her and the other fox. I should probably be off to bed now then. Is it okay if I take these 2 folders with me?
By all means. Good night, Miss Gumaho.
Being called a Gumaho takes the girl by surprise, although she can't tell if he's being sincere or simply toying with her. Holding the folder to her chest, Jules leaves without mentioning it, no matter how much she wants to know the truth. Stelios looks over his shoulder at the girl, a smile creeping onto his face as the scent of berries and filet mignon disappear alongside her silhouette. It's strangely quiet, almost peaceful, on the fox's walk to the guest room. With everything about her day having been far from normal, she's so very happy to find that her room is plain that she could cry from relief. Placing the folder she's taken from the records room on the bedside table, Jules decides to call it a night and lies down. However, her mind just won't switch off. Too many things have happened for her to be able to just roll over and pass out. First there was Gaki and his constant harassment. He seems harmless enough and probably isn't close enough to anyone inside the palace to be of any use. Jules can't completely rule him out though, since he was the only one who seemed to tell her anything halfway truthful. Perhaps if she entertained him enough, he'd be open to telling her a lot more gossip. Plus, for a moment, it was refreshing to laugh like that, even though his jokes were bad enough to be made illegal. Then there's Stelios. Jules' gut tells her that he's a nice guy, but you can't have a face like that and remain completely void of sin. She wants to trust him. He knows the records room like the back of his hand, but he's strangely loyal to Anzu. The girl just can't understand what about the governess can make someone as sensible as Stelios so loyal to her strange ways. Speaking of those who are blindly loyal, Kali is probably just the governess's yapping lapdog. Jules knows the silver-haired girl will never turn on her master, though the Gumaho is hardly one to look down on someone for their gullible loyalty. The biggest problem with Kali is that if anyone knows what Anzu is up to, it would be her. It's just a matter of how to get the girl to turn sides. Yet none of those people compare to Anzu. Dealing with that woman is like playing a game you're destined to lose. But Jules is too much of a sore loser to let that stop her. She's certain that somewhere within that woman's entangled existence, there's a loose thread that will unravel the whole thing. And then the glory will be all mine. She punches the air, her muscles pulling uncomfortably within her arm. Ow! She stretches out the knots in her arm and cracks the aches out of her shoulders. She's been hunched over a desk for too long, and it's time she called it a night. The girl's premature sense of accomplishment keeps her up for a long time until, finally, her eyelids grow heavy. Gaki, age 369, occupation, soul collector, a young noble kitsune who truly lives life. He truly lives life, got it. Jules tries to yawn away the boredom. She's been searching the shelves for an important file and is confident that she's finally gotten the hang of the insane filing system. Weren't we just in bed? What happened here? But an hour later and she still has no luck. Ugh, I haven't got time for this. The girl knows she's just wasting her time and that any real answers are all safely tucked away in Anzu's office. And there's no chance of me getting in there. She laughs bitterly at the painful truth of it, though that doesn't mean she's giving up. On the contrary, Jules is going to get in there and find those elusive files. She just needs to come up with a plan to sneak her way in. A good plan, and quick.
A penny for them?
Huh? Stelios stands at the end of the aisle with a wry smile and a glass of wine. Isn't it a bit early for wine?
Oh, don't worry. It's just grape juice.
And I'm just a kitsune. Stelios chuckles to himself. What was that for? The man avoids Jules' confused stare and looks down at the glass, admiring the things that wine-liking people admire about swirling a glass of wine, like the aroma and the swirliness of it. I thought so. And I'm not stupid. I know that's not grape juice.
I assure you it is. Would you like me to prove it?
She almost says yes when Stelios takes a long sip of the grape juice. The clink of the vampire's fangs against the glass remind her of the uncomfortable conversation they had the previous night. For that reason, she's quick to let Stelios' daytime drinking slide. What are you here for anyway?
To see if you're doing all right. Unless you actually want a penny for your thoughts.
What does that even mean?
Oh, sorry. I assumed everyone knew the phrase, a penny for your thoughts.
Who says that ever? We don't use pennies down here. The man's blush becomes darker than the grape juice in his hand, only now realizing he's made the same stupid mistake as last night.
It's a human thing, I suppose.
He swallows hard, trying to look less awkward, but failing at it.
I'm sorry. I won't do that again.
That's what you said last night.
It was the first thing I thought when I saw you. And you look like you have a lot on your mind, so I assumed... I'm sorry. again.
It's fine. I won't mention it. Ever.
Do you need some help? Maybe I can make up for it by...
I'm fine.
I insist. Anything you need.
Jules stares at the pale man long and hard. The word anything can do awful things to a sly mind. The girl bit her lip while thinking it over. Anything?
Of course.
If you insist. Maybe you can help me? I can't find any of the files for the low-tier collectors.
Low tier? Why would you be interested in those?
I like to be thorough.
That's a very good work ethic to have. I commend you.
Celios laughs to himself and then starts to leave. So you'll get them for me? The vampire doesn't answer the girl, forcing her to rush after him and catch him by the arm, the shock in her face a little too eager to believe the impossible. Seriously? Like, seriously? I can't find them.
I can't. Those files are not in the archives.
Then where are they? As if I don't already know.
As if you don't already know. Files that are not in the archives need Anzu's approval to be accessed.
That doesn't answer my question. Celios looks away from Jules, a somewhat exasperated expression shielding the fact that he's trying very hard to hold his breath.
Files that you cannot find here are in Anzu's personal office, and not even I have access to that room.
I understand.
Thank you.
Jules slowly lets Celios go, although not without the slight suspicion that he can help her a lot more than he is at the moment. In spite of the awkwardness, Celios sticks around for a little longer, occupying himself with his own work and occasionally leaving to refill his glass. Slowly, Jules finishes gathering all the files she needs. Even though it's only a fake audit, she still wants to do it well. Looking at all the gathered files makes the girl feel a pang of pride. Celios. Jules looks around the archives. She didn't hear him leave, and his work is still on his desk. Maybe there's something hidden around here that could help me bring the governess to justice. The Kumiho wanders close to Celios' desk, flipping open the first file. She doesn't even get a chance to read the first entry before a cold breeze runs down her back.
How may I help you?
The pale secretary looms behind the girl, reaching past her to shut the file, his face so close that she can now confirm that he certainly wasn't drinking grape juice. But that could only do so much to distract her from the mini heart attack she's having. There you are! The auditor tries to sound more confident than she actually feels, sliding away from the desk and Celios. Is there somewhere I can set up a workspace?
I thought you would work here.
So you can hover around me all day? No way. Well, it's too dark in here, and I'm so used to having my own space. Oh, and I need a place where there aren't cameras, please, because of, confidentiality.
I guess that sounds about right.
Really? I mean, of course it does. He's totally gullible.
Come this way.
Celios leads Jules down the service hallway into a small office in the old wing of Kumanoito Palace. There's no keycard reader on the door, and it takes a few kicks before it swings open, revealing a miserable-looking office.
You can use this room for now.
Celios holds his sleeve up over his mouth, shielding himself from the rising dust clouds.
Your request caught me a bit off guard, so I'm afraid this is all we have to offer. You can continue using the archives if this is not satisfactory, of course.
No, I'm sure it'll be fine here. Thanks.
If that's what you wish.
The Kubiho notices a hard frown on the man's face as he nods his head and then leaves. She doesn't think her request was out of the ordinary. What's his problem?
Governess Anzu.
You're interrupting me, Celios.
Anzu continues with her important task, gazing at her own reflection in the crystal floor even as Celios approaches. It's taken a while, but she's almost reached the conclusion that the right side of her face is better than the left.
Forgive me. I just wanted to inform you that the auditor has been relocated to the Old Wing's office.
There are no cameras over there.
She requested the Old Wing specifically. Perhaps she knew about that already. Her work is confidential, after all.
It seems that she might be more apt at her job than I gave her credit for. I thought she was just a present from Lucy. Our overlord really did forget my birthday.
With all due respect, my governess, you don't have a birthday. If you did, we would have made the appropriate arrangements to celebrate it.
True, but I would have loved a cute little birthday present from Lucy, no matter what time of year it is.
Do you have any further instructions, governess?
No, though that news has dampened my mood.
Might I suggest a glass of wine?
That sounds perfect. Bring 2 bottles to my office. We can drink them together.
And what of Callie?
I'll send her to check on the fox. She does get a bit boring to be around sometimes. Perhaps a trip to the Old Wing will ruffle her feathers and make her a little more energetic.
Very well.
Okay. I'm gonna call it here, actually. I am interested in this game. The dialogue is still a tiny bit weird, but I like it. It's interesting. And, you know, the voice actors make it all super interesting. Highly commend you guys. Voice actors are amazing. I wish I could do your job. But, you know, thank you so much for watching. I hope you had fun, because I definitely had fun. Please like and subscribe. It would mean so much to me. And I will see you later.